What's up, guys? Finally decided to get it over with and be on camera. Which you kind of have to do if you want to be an actor, which I do, but I'm not liking this. So yesterday was my first day back at college, and I wanted to make a video about it because okay, let me put this in perspective for you. I'm 23 years old. I dropped out of school the first time when I was about 13, 14, to be homeschooled for a year. Then I went back to school because I wanted to get my GCSEs, and then when I was 15, I overdosed, and obviously ended up in hospital and whatever, so my mum pulled me out of school again, and then I went to college that September, so still when I was still 15, to do my GCSEs at college. I dropped out of all the GCSEs except English and Maths. Then I went back the next September and dropped out of everything but a photography GCSE. Then I went back and dropped out of everything. Then I went back and completed a year of a 2-year course. And then I dropped out. Then I went back and dropped out again, and then I went back and dropped out again, and now I'm back. So basically, I've dropped out of college 7 times. And now I'm back at college again, for the 8th time, and it was my first day back yesterday. And I guess the reason I wanted to make a video about it is because I wanted to, I don't know, reassure, maybe? Reassure people, especially who are younger than me, that fucking up isn't the end of the world. And believe me, I've fucked up so many times that I've often had the thought that, well, I've fucked up my life so much there's no point trying anymore. I don't know whether it was an autism thing or a bipolar thing or what, but every time, like clockwork, it just fell apart. And you know, watching everybody else around me having lives, you know, they're having babies or they're getting jobs or whatever, and then there's me. It's depressing, but I kind of want to make this a kind of, I want to document the journey, as it were, because I think it's it's an important, everyone has a story. Everyone has their own demons they're fighting. Everyone has their own troubles. They have their own way of dealing with things. They have their own coping mechanisms and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to share mine because I've seen posts by, 16, 17-year-olds who have no idea what they're doing with their lives, and they think the world's coming to an end because they haven't done this or they haven't done that, and they're 17. And to be honest, I'm kind of the same way, because it's like, I'm 23 and I've done nothing with my life, and I'm running out of time, and I have to do everything right now because I'm running out of time, because I'm 23 and I haven't done anything yet. And I know that, like, there's been plenty of people who have started a career at like 30, 35, whatever, and they've done fine, and they're happy with that. And if they're happy, then that's good. But I don't want to look back on my life when I'm like 70 or 80 or whatever and be like, well, that's boring. Not much to see there. Didn't really achieve much. Didn't really do much. Had a simple, kind of boring, mundane existence. I want to look back and be like, fuck, that was one hell of a ride. I'm trying to think of a way to say this that doesn't sound arrogant, or whatever, but I kind of want to be the kind of person that, because I've had a lot of people inspire me, I mean, Corey Taylor, for example, Jensen Ackles, and Jared Padalecki, and pretty much the whole cast of Supernatural, the whole cast of Teen Wolf, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Johnny Depp, Hugh Jackman. Like, there's loads of people who have kind of like been anchors, as it were, in my life, that have kind of kept me going, which sounds really like dumb and fangirly and whatever, but it's true. Right now it's Dylan O'Brien, and Teen Wolf and Scorch Trials and such, but what was I saying? Yeah, you have all these people that are like massive inspirations to millions of people around the world, and like, I don't know about millions, but I wanna, that's like the biggest achievement that you could possibly hope for, in my opinion. Like, to have someone look at you and be like, you kept me going. Because of you, I got through a really bad experience, or I didn't give up, or I found out what I wanted to do with my life, or whatever you happen to have inspired in them. to have inspired someone is like the biggest and best thing ever, I think. And I don't know, I kind of like, it would be really, really awesome if like one day, you know, someone said that because of me they didn't give up or something. Like, that would have made it all worth, that kind of thing makes it all worthwhile, you know. It kind of, it's a validation of your existence. Your existence matters to someone, and I think that's always been like a thing of mine, because not so much because I'm quiet, because sometimes I'm not quiet at all, but a lot of the time I'm like a wallflower, or whatever you want to call it. Bit of a loner, kind of nervous around people, you know, that kind of person, kind of shy-ish. I can be really outgoing when I'm hyper, but I have to be in a specific mood, so if I'm not in that mood, then I'm really like, go away, kind of thing. So I tend to like blend into the background. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that, like, I prefer that. I would say I'm an observer, not a participator. I like to sit on the sidelines and watch and analyse and stuff like that, because I'm kind of a dork. But the kind of what's the word? Byproduct of being like that is that you end up feeling invisible, or that your existence doesn't have an impact, so you may as well not exist at all. It can end up being a really dark place, and it's a place that I've been many times, unfortunately. So to be validated for existing would be the ultimate achievement, or reward, actually. Yeah, I think reward is a better word for it. Yeah. I've kind of lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, I want to show you my tattoo. My new tattoo. Turn the right way. This is going to be awkward. It's that one, isn't it? That one. Yeah, that one. Oh. Turn that way. Right. You see that? Okay. Inspired by Teen Wolf. I've got like a really bad double chin going on here. It's like, I hate my chin. It's like a, be like that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, tattoo. It's the Japanese kanji for self. And I have a thing for Japan anyway, and Japanese language and shit like that. But yeah, I saw it in Teen Wolf. It's a big I've lost the word again. Theme. It's not, but yeah. In the second part of season 3 in Teen Wolf, the Oni leave that mark on people after they've checked them to make sure they're not possessed by the Nogitsune. So it symbolises that they're still themselves. And so for me, it's that I'm still myself, like, no matter what has happened in my life or will happen in my life, I'm still me. And I should stay true to myself, and I shouldn't be ashamed of that. It's basically just a reminder to be myself. I spent so long trying to be something else for people. You know, whether it was trying to get people to like me, or trying to be what I thought people wanted me to be, or whatever, that it got to the point where I wasn't sure if I even still existed as myself, whether I was me anymore. And that took me down a really not nice path, to put it simply. And so the tattoo's kind of a reminder that I got off that path. I still question, you know, who and what I am, and what makes me me, and if I really am me, if I really exist as a person, blah 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 blah. But it's less of a, it doesn't run my existence anymore like it used to. So I seem to be moving in the right direction. And that's why I wanted to make this video and other videos showing my journey or whatever, because I think it's an important journey for people to take. There's so much, be this, be that, don't be that, whatever you do. If you be that, you're going to hell, whatever. There's so much trying to mold people to be a certain way. And we've made a lot of progress as a society, you know, parts of the world legalizing gay marriage, for example, women being able to get certain jobs now. I mean, obviously there's still a long way to go for many those issues and many others, but we are making progress. And I think one of the things that we need to make progress on is the human race has a natural need for categorizing things, for putting things in little boxes. This goes in this box, and that goes in that box, and that goes in that box. And it's good up to a point, but not when you're dealing with people themselves. Because as soon as you start having your little boxes with your people in, then you automatically have conflict. You can't come in our box. This is our box. That is your box. You stay in your box. And you don't come in our box. Because you're contaminated. That's basically what it is. We don't understand your box. So we don't want anything to do with your box. We're better than your box. You know, our box is better. Our box is bigger and fancier and has all these little gadgets that your box doesn't have, and our box is a cooler colour, and, you know, whatever. That kind of stuff is pointless. It doesn't fit where we are as a society. It's, you know, it's fucking ancient days shit. You know, it's the kind of survival instinct that we don't need anymore. We are not psychologically evolving as fast as everything else about us is. I mean, we've got cars and buildings and computers and the internet and cool little gadgets that do so many things and all that kind of stuff. And yet, we're still fighting over skin colour or what's between a person's fucking legs. Or, you know, I don't even fucking know, but it's pointless and pathetic and stupid that it's still even an issue. I've completely lost where I was going with that, sorry. My point is that there's more encouragement these days for people to be themselves, but I find that it's more, be yourself, unless you're something that we don't like, and then you can't be yourself. Then you have to change yourself into something that we approve of. And that's bullshit. So, I basically wanted to kind of document it, like, for my own personal whatever, so that I could see myself, the progress or whatever, because when you're actually in it, sometimes it's hard to you know, to take a step back and look at it in an objective, from an objective viewpoint, but the other part is that I wanted other people to see it in case they have the same kind of thoughts or wants or whatever. You know, if it's important to them, if it's something they're passionate about, being themselves or finding themselves, or not letting other people change them in a way that's bad for them, not letting other people chain them into something they don't want, any of that. I'm not good at explaining this shit, but yeah, so I got my timetable for college, and Tuesdays, which is what it is today, I don't start till 2, So I'm going to attempt to do this regularly, every Tuesday, and see where it goes. Hopefully, if I manage to, and don't fuck up again, I want to show people that, you know, even if you fuck up like I did, you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. There's a Japanese proverb that I really, really love, and it is exactly that. It says it's fall down 7 times, stand up 8, which is pretty much exactly where I'm at right now, because I dropped out of college 7 times, and I'm now on my 8th time at college. Hopefully, 8th is the charm. I hope. But I want people to see that, you know, if you make a mistake, it's not the end of your life. It's not the end of the world. It never really ends until you give up. You know, as long as you keep going and keep trying, and, you know, you just got to look outside the box. You got to look at it from a different viewpoint. You got to, you know, that there's that bit in Big Hero 6 where Tadashi holds him up by his leg. Oh no, he's got his legs on his shoulders, hasn't he? And he's like carrying him around the room, telling him to look at it a different way so that he can find the whatever he was trying to do, that he can figure it out by looking at it a different way. That's basically my point. You just gotta look at it a different way, and look at it your way. You know, don't look at it from someone else's angle. I mean, yeah, you can try that. You know, you can you can do that, but like, there's always room for tweaking it so that it's more suited to you and to who you are. And that's pretty much the biggest thing, is doing what's right for you rather than what other people want you to do or what you think other people expect you to do. I mean, the course I'm doing right now is TV and film production. I'm a massive film nerd. I love to tell stories. I love to watch movies. I love to read books. I love to watch anime, read manga, whatever. Stories are my life, especially film. And I've thought about it a couple of times about going into film, but I never went for it because it always seemed like that thing that can happen to other people but won't happen to me, because my luck ain't that good. You know, you have to have something that I don't have, or something. I don't know. It's just it just seemed an impossible aim, an impossible dream. And you know, and then there were people like this woman was, when I said I wanted to be a film director, she was like, well, that's not really realistic, is it? And that really hit me. I was like, well, okay. Bang goes that theory. I won't even bother trying. If it's so sure that I'm gonna fail at it, I won't bother. But now I'm kind of at the point where it's like, well, you know what? Fuck you, basically. Because film is what I love. Writing, the idea of having being on a proper set, the camera work, the lights, the costumes, the props, all of it. It's everything to me. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't really care if, you know, if I never get to the point of making some like massive Hollywood blockbuster or whatever. I mean, it would be nice, of course, but when that's kind of how you figure out if you are actually into something or not. Because when you're really passionate about something and when you really love doing something, just doing it in whatever way possible is what's important. You know, even if it's making some shitty thing like this, you know, even if it's just me sat with a camera in my hand talking to an imaginary audience, it's still what I want to do. It's still what I enjoy doing. So, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, what the budget is or whether I've got some big action hero star or whatever. It's the doing it itself that's the important part. So, in conclusion, because this is getting kind of long and my throat's starting to hurt, I will hopefully be doing a weekly video to document my personal journey and anything I find interesting along the way, so that other people can see that even if you fuck up a couple of times, or in my case a lot of times, it's not the end. And you should never, ever, 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 okay, ever, give up what you want to do. Because doing something that's not what you want to do just make you miserable. And I don't, you know, I think misery and pain and whatnot is a part of life, but I don't for 1 minute think that we're just here to suffer. So, you know, put your helmet on and just barrel through whatever shit is happening. Hold what you're passionate about, what you want to do, what you love to do. Hold it in front of you like a shield. You know, like one of those big kind of metal square shield thingies. Hold it in front of you and just walk. And whatever's in the way will just like slam off the front